Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to take a closer look at the Girsan P35 OPS Optic. The P35 OPS is a very updated version of the Browning High Power, which was also known as the P35. It's a single action double stack 9mm, and that was John Moses Browning's final pistol design, made in conjunction with FN in Belgium. Browning actually died in 1926, 9 years prior to the High Power's release in 1935. The High Power was designed to meet the requirements of the French military. Even though it wasn't adopted by them, it was adopted by several other countries later on. The original High Powers did have a few things that a lot of shooters didn't like about them. One of them being the magazine disconnect. And that means that it won't fire if the magazine's removed from the gun. And it also causes the magazine not to drop freely on a lot of the High Powers. So you actually had to strip the magazine from the gun. Also, there was a tendency for the hammer on the original High Powers to come back and get the web of your thumb while you were shooting it, making it kind of uncomfortable to shoot. The sights on the original High Powers, they weren't that great, and also the trigger was horrendous compared to like a 1911 single action trigger. But the new Girsan P35 OPS addresses those issues and some more. So let's take a closer look at it. Alright, we'll start out looking at this. I will show you, it is clear, just for all the people who care. Now, this is of course 9mm, capacity of 15+1. It does use Metgar magazines. Now it does only come with one magazine, and these are a little bit hard to find, but I was able to find some online. You just got to do some searching, but you can find some. The barrel length of this gun is 4.87 inches. The overall length to the back of the beaver tail was 8.25 inches. And the width at the widest point, which was right in here, came in at 1.25 inches. The overall height with the optic was 5.75 inches. The weight on this gun with the optic and an unloaded magazine was 2.1 pounds. Some of the other things Girsan did fix with this gun is they removed the magazine disconnect, so it'll fire with the magazine removed, which also allows for the magazine to drop freely. They put an extended beaver tail on the back, and that protects your hand from the hammer coming down and getting you. And I really do like that beaver tail. It's extremely comfortable to shoot. You can see this one has a nice flat trigger instead of that curved trigger that normal High Powers have. And it's got a pretty light trigger. This one comes in at just under 4 pounds on my scale. The only downfall I could find with the trigger is the resets almost all the way out. You can see moving up from the trigger, it does have a nice little rail up front, pick rail, so you can run your lights on it. And then it does include a fiber optic front sight. Alright, as far as the optic goes, you can see it does have the fiber optic rear sight built into the optic, so it does allow for you to co-witness. The optic is a far dot optic, and it's a 4 MOA dot, and it is auto adjust and always on. So you have no brightness control, no buttons whatsoever on it. And the battery is on bottom, so you do have to remove the optic to change the battery. The slide cut on these guns is an RMS-C footprint, but they have done the modifications to allow the HoloSun K series to work with it also, so you've got some options when you go to update your dot. It does have an ambi safety, you can see. Now the takedown on this is more similar, in my opinion, to a modern striker fire gun than a 1911. See, just pull that out. Drop that, you got it filled, stripped, and ready to clean. You can pull your spring out, and your barrel just comes right out also. And going back together is very simple also. So, makes for easy maintenance, cleaning, and all that. Now the grips on this are a G10 grip, and they're very good looking grips. And extremely comfortable and pretty good texture on them, so you can get a good purchase on it. Now the MC P35s are made in Turkey, but they are imported into the US by EAA Corp. Now the MSRP on this gun, with the optic included, is $956. If you want to see my range review of this gun, they'll be popping up right up over here, or there'll be a link in the description below. And we put a lot of rounds to this gun, had a lot of good luck with it, so be sure and check that out. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here and think I've earned it, consider subscribing. And if you think somebody else will enjoy it, make sure you share it out. That helps more than anything. We'll see you on the next one.